This morning we want to talk about how do we keep your practice in the black, the DPC practice. As we've said before, the fact of the matter, the majority of DPC practices struggle or go broke, and they're not run correctly. And so part of it is, I tell the doctors you're going to do it our way because we know what works and doesn't work. But more important than that, there is a philosophy and idea behind the doctor and how to keep yourself out of trouble. I was talking last month to a prospective franchisee, and make a long story short, he's having trouble with all the typical reasons. His practice, he's not doing well financially, he's in trouble with this, the stressors are terrible, he's on this treadmill, all these issues. And he's having trouble keeping his practice solvent. He wants to make more money, and he's essentially working harder and harder and harder, more and more stress, and making less and less. And he's on this trajectory that he says, I can't do this. I'm going to have to either do a DPC practice, or I'm going to have to sell out and join a big group or go work for the hospital. You know what, those things that go through our minds. But the key when you start a DPC practice, especially if you convert a practice, all right, you don't have to have the newest and best of everything. Like we tell if you're starting a brand new practice, in LA we have warehouses where you can buy used medical equipment for often a tenth to a quarter of the cost, that's very good and functional, works just as well, often looks new, that you can use to set up a practice very reasonably, so you don't have to go and hawk in debt so much, so that you can end up keeping things solvent. It's a philosophy and a mindset in the doctor's mind. Many doctors go out there, well, I'm the best and I need the best and newest and best of all right? I look at in the hospitals, a lot of the doctors come to me for financial counseling when they get in trouble, all right? And they have the idea that I'll give them good advice, and we believe we do. But I want to tell you a vignette that sort of summarizes what happens. And this was 2 years ago at Christmas. One of the doctors came to me and he wanted to talk to me, and we go apart and set up in a room at the hospital, and we just talked for about almost an hour, and he's just going over all the issues. And make long story short, he's in trouble financially. He is in deep trouble. He is, I was going to say circling the drain, that's not quite true, but he is struggling because of his financial management, what's going on. And we go over all of these things, all right? Just all of these things. Where to do, how to, this is the action you should do, this is what you need to look at, this is where you go, all of these things. And at the end of our hour talking and going over everything, and he's very appreciative, he says, oh, Jan, he says, come on to the doctor's parking lot. I need to show you my new car. And he's just leased a $140,000 brand new BMW fancy machine, all right? And it's nice, don't get me wrong, it's nice. And I kept thinking, this doctor, he was so excited about this new car he's got. It didn't click. He's struggling financially, and it didn't click that this is maybe why he's in trouble. There's a psychology that we want to have the best and newest and everything. And when things get tough, we tend to often spend money to make myself feel better and more successful. It doesn't work. It only gets you in more trouble. And there's this philosophy that if I know the practice system works, I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful like we are. But what I can tell you is if you do it our way, you have a much higher percentage and chance of being successful like we are, all right? Because I want my franchise to be in the top earning doctors. It takes a while to get there, but you have to do it our way, and we will teach you how to do it so you don't get yourself in trouble.